Hey everyone, today we're going to do a deeper dive into the question, should I cut my green spikes after the flowers have fallen off? And needless to say, there are many different opinions concerning this matter. The proponents of keeping the spike argue that if anything's green, there's a reason for that, and just leave it be and let the plant do what it's meant to do. On top of that, very often, new auxiliary spikes grow out of the original spike, yielding more flowers. And then there's another point of view that says, nope, you have to cut the spikes because they're using energy and resources that could be better used by other parts of the plant, such as the development of leaves and new roots. So today I'd like to challenge that latter theory by presenting 3 different orchids, all of which have green spikes that are at least 5 months old. So let's begin with Orchid 1. And if you take a look, it has a green spike that's about 13 inches long. And upon closer inspection, everywhere you look, there's root growth happening. Aside from that, we have really nice, healthy new leaves that are developing. And if we look further down at the root system, almost every root has a root tip, demonstrating that there's a lot of new growth going on here. In addition, there's a new spike coming up. And this is in spite of the fact that there's an old spike that's in perfect condition in which new auxiliary spikes could come out of. So clearly this old green spike is in no way a detriment to the rest of the plant or to the development of other aspects of the plant. One has to wonder why it's still here. What's its function? Why hasn't it turned brown and shriveled up? One reason might be that it contains chlorophyll, and as a result, just like the leaves, it's a little sugar factory, albeit a small amount of sugar is produced there, but still, that could be a reason. But this plant clearly has a positive view of this spike and is holding on to it for some reason unbeknownst to us. Next up is orchid number 12, which I featured in a previous video. And this one has an old spike that's about 18 inches long. Due to overwatering, I lost part of a leaf and one other entire leaf. So it's been in recovery this year and is doing really well. Let's zone in here and take a closer look at the roots. And you see a green root tip right there. There's another couple. And taking it out of the vase, you can really see root growth everywhere. Look at all the green buds happening. So clearly we have a lot of root growth here, up on top as well as down here. And additionally, the new leaves that have developed are in really nice shape. And look at this, we have about a 6-inch spike happening. And all of this in spite of the fact that we have an old green spike here. Clearly, it's not a detriment to the plant, just like with orchid number 1. And last up is orchid W8 with a 30-inch spike. And this spike is about 5 months old. Lost its flowers in July nothing has ever become of it. It just sits there, green as can be. And I would venture to say that there's as much chlorophyll in this spike as in maybe the small leaf that's forming. No orchid is the same, and with this one, there's the beginnings of root growth. So we see the green tip there, another one there, and it's just not as apparent yet. In addition, we have a nice new leaf that's developed over the past 5 months and continues to grow. And on top of that, in spite of the 30-inch spike, there's a new spike coming out. So go figure. As humans, very often we want to pretend to know what's best for these orchids. But I find part of the fun in raising them is waiting to see what they're going to do next. And everyone has a different agenda. That's what's so amazing. So thanks for joining me once again.